Just reminding you, some of these films don't have enough footage for them, so it's not like the normal format. First Cow doesn't even have a poster yet, so like I had to make one. Also, before anyone comments or doesn't comment and just internalizes their frustration in their body, I know I did not pronounce Agnes's name correctly in the video. I said Agnés because we did this super early and I didn't sleep very well before and I just ran through it. And then by the time I finished, I was like, oh my God, I spent that whole review not saying her name correctly. So in advance, I'm apologizing for not saying Agnés, but just imagine my embarrassment. Okay? Thanks. So the next film I saw was First Cow by Kelly Reichardt. Kelly Reichardt is a very famous indie director. She's done a lot of work with Michelle Williams.
Oh, really?
They did a couple of films together. Wendy and Lucy is a movie they did together. They did Meek's Cutoff together. I haven't seen those films, but I have them on my list. I'll watch them. And they did this movie that I saw called Certain Women. I didn't love it. But this film is much better, I think.
What did you go through while watching this movie?
This old man comes in. He goes up to this lady in the row in front of me, and he yells at her, and he says, "Hey, is this seat taken?"
Oh my God.
He yells it. Everyone in the movie theater fucking heard it. And then he just sits down. Maybe 30 seconds later, he gets up and goes down 2 rows. And he goes, "Hey, is this seat taken?" This movie is so quiet, Glenn. First Cow is so quiet, and this man is screaming in the movie theater. And so he sits down, and it's fine. But, like, the first, 2 minutes of this movie are ruined for me. I think there was another rapper lady behind me as well.
Mm-hmm.
This type of shit is what annoys me because then I'm thinking about how mad I am at that old man and I'm like skipping out on plot details and metaphors and acting and all that stuff. And I can't, and I'm thinking about it for fucking 10 minutes and I can't, and it gets me mad and I miss out on a lot of stuff. But First Cow is an okay movie. There's really good cinematography. It takes place in
the 19th century.
It's basically about this guy, and he meets this Chinese immigrant, and they become friends and they start a business together.
Mm-hmm.
And they just sell these cakes. That part of the movie is the best part. It is such a great movie within this movie, but the rest of the movie, it just takes too long to get to where it needs to go. And I like slow movies, but this was we're pushing it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of great world building in the film. The production designer did an amazing job. All these communities have to look lived in, and they look like they've been there forever. It looked amazing. The sound design in this film is really great. There's people, walking around and having side conversations while things are going on. And there was a point in the film where the characters are in this village, and I thought that there were people behind me talking, but I realized it was the sound design. For me, what this film achieves is that it does really good world building and the sound design is really great. And that's basically it. I think you might like this movie, but I do think you would agree that it takes forever to get to where it needs to go. And then once the plot actually starts, it's really entertaining. And yeah, I think you should watch it.
I will. I'll put it on my list.
And I'm giving First Cow a 6 out of 10. So the next film that I saw was called Atlantics. This film takes place in Senegal, and it was directed by this woman named Maddie Diop. She wrote and directed this film, and she's like an up-and-coming female director, and this film is getting a lot of buzz.
It won the Grand Prix at the Cannes Film Festival,
which is second place to the Palme d'Or. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch this film. This film, it kind of didn't live up to the hype for me. Again, like First Cow, it takes forever to get to where it wants to go, but when it does get to that place, it's really weird. This film is mostly drenched in realism in terms of the way certain scenes are presented, but the places that this film goes are not. So there's a very distinct, I don't want to say tone shift, because it maintains the same dreadful, ominous, dreamlike tone throughout the film, but it definitely, presentation-wise and story-wise, there's a switch that goes off. depending on, I guess, what you're into, you may love it or you might hate it. For me, I didn't love it all the way, but I think I didn't love it all the way because they didn't go all the way with it, you know? But I'm not saying that they should have, like, explained how certain things work in the film.
I'm saying I wish the more surreal moments were heightened.
When those things started to happen, the audience, I don't think, reacted the way that the film wanted the audience to react, because there are things that happen in the film that should make you feel unsettled, but the audience was laughing. Like, they found some of these bits to be comedic, and I don't think that's what the film was going for. I listened to YMS's review of this film after I saw the film, and he had the same exact experience I did, which is crazy. Like, his theater was laughing at parts that they shouldn't have been laughing at, but yeah, there's things to appreciate in the film. The cinematography is pretty good. There's a lot of really compressed shots. The ocean is used as a motif in the film because I think Senegal is right next to the ocean. These ocean shots, they look like they're shot from a high altitude, and it's shot on like at least a 200 millimeter lens. Like, these shots are super compressed. And the score is really good too. I almost forgot. Like, I didn't think about the score until I was talking about those shots, because the score is so heavily linked with those shots. The score really just ramps up the tension, and it stands out, and it's really good. But like I said, the rest of it is fine.
What are you going to give it out of 10 if it's fine?
A 6.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think Atlantis is a 6 out of 10. The next film I saw was Varda by Agnés, which is the final film by famous French New Wave director Agnés Varda, who died this year.
What did you go through while watching this movie?
Late people, and that's it, thank God.
That's good.
Yeah, I know. Crazy.
No phones went off or anything?
No. People just came in late, and that was fucking annoying, and that's it.
And nobody screamed like the old person?
They showed some respect. They put some respect on her name.
Oh, okay, good.
This film festival is actually dedicated to her. This was the first time they actually dedicated the festival to somebody, so this year it was for her. Are you familiar with her?
No, I am not.
Do you know what she looks like?
I do not. I'm literally Googling her right now.
Okay, so the French New Wave, for people who don't know what the French New Wave is, it was this movement in the 1960s where a couple of film critics, most notably Francois Truffaut and Jean-Luc Godard, they were like, films should be better. And then they started making their own movies. They pioneered jump cutting, shooting in real locations, TLDR, that's what the French New Wave is. You can look up what the French New Wave is on the internet in detail. But Agnés Varda is one of the most important female directors ever, just because of the length of her career and the movement that she was a part of. I've seen a couple of her stuff, but I haven't seen Cleo from 5 to 7, and I haven't seen Vagabond yet, which are like two of her most critically acclaimed films that she's made. And I plan to. They're on my list of... Let's see how many films are on my list on IMDb really quick. 4,179, so leave me alone. I saw the last film she did with this visual artist named JR. They did a film together called Faces Places. And Glenn, you need to see this movie.
It's amazing.
It is so... No, it's not amazing. It's not like, oh, this is cinema. Wow, I'm blown away. This is like what blah, it's not that. But this movie, Glenn, is so cute. It is so cute. They go around, they meet people, they talk about their lives, and then they take a picture of these random people. They print a really large picture of them, and they plaster it on on a wall or something, like graffiti.
Mm-hmm.
But the through line throughout the movie is JR and Agnés Varda becoming friends. And it's so cute. But so this film is the final film by her. Her daughter came out before the movie started, and she was like, this movie isn't like a movie. It's a bunch of her master classes and like other stuff. And they just put it together, like they made it a movie. So that's why I have it right before I talk about all the good movies. Because like, it's not the worst film I saw. It's not better than the okay films I saw, but like, I'm not going to put it right after Wasp Network. Like, it's definitely not, because it's not really a movie. It's just her talking about the films that she's made and like the process and like her life and all that stuff. But this film does a lot of things that are super creative. She remakes certain shots from her old movies, and she'll be talking to the camera as the shot is going. So like,
for example, she'll talk about a dolly shot she did,
and the camera will be doing the same dolly shot from the movie, but it'll be filming Agnés Varda on a dolly, and that dolly is moving as well, and it's tracking the dolly, and she's talking to the camera. Like, cool shit like that. And her personality like really just carries the movie because it's about her. So like, if you're a filmmaker, or if you're a cinephile, or if you're really into the French New Wave, or if you just love her, then I would say watch this movie just so you can have another perspective on filmmaking, because I think she provides a lot of things for you to just take in. And yeah, I enjoyed myself. There's like a 10 to 15 minute bit in the middle-ish of the film that is like, it takes too long. It's a little boring. But the rest of it is like entertaining and cute. There's a segment where she's talking about this film she did with Robert De Niro, and it's hilarious because she shows clips of Robert De Niro speaking French, and it's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. It's like, this is like peak Robert De Niro. I think this is like, depending on when you want to call peak Robert De Niro, I'd say peak Robert De Niro is like from 73 to 95. And this was like Cape Fear era Robert De Niro, so like maybe like 1990. Him speaking French is the funniest thing I've ever seen. You need to see this film.
I will.
The only thing I would say about Varda by Agnés that might detract people from watching it is that she spoils the ending for Vagabond in this movie. And I was gonna say Vagabond before I watched this film, but I ran out of time, and like I just went in, I was like, I hope she doesn't spoil this movie, because she talks about her filmography and she says The Thing, and I was like, fuck, but I'm gonna watch it anyway. Yeah, so like if you don't want that movie spoiled for you, don't see it yet. I'm giving Varda by Agnés a 6 out of 10. All right, everybody. If you enjoyed that for some reason, comment, like, subscribe, do all the things. Bye-bye.